Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Tuesday night from Los Angeles, California, man. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had themselves a good Tuesday, good Monday, good past weekend. I ain't gone live since Friday, man. So got some catching up to do here, man. Took me a little break from the internet for a few days, which is always great for the mental health, man. So shout out to everybody. Hope you guys are doing well, man. I see you guys in the building here. So got some news today, right? Got a couple of things making their making their way around the news cycles. Some recycled news, really. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, unless you're just not really paying attention, this wasn't news today. This was just reiterating what we've basically been telling you and what's been out there for weeks. And in the Lakers, one of the biggest stall campaigns we've ever seen of actually announcing something. Excuse me. But the machine was well at work today, and we're going to touch on that. And it's like I said, it was nasty work, yet exciting and impressive work today by the machine today, man. And they're very good at what they do. Shout out to the machine, man. Very, 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 very good at what they do. And we're going to touch on that throughout the show, man. But like I said, it's looking more and more like every day that the Lakers are operating as a record company. Lakers are operating as a record company. They're doing a rollout, guys. They're doing a rollout, all right? And they're basically slowly but surely letting you know that they're in album mode, doing a little thing out, little by little by little. You're going to get the single, you're going to get, bam, and then the album's going to drop. Probably dead smack in the middle of the NBA Finals. It's going to be like pretty much out there that it's done, and it will either become official then or slightly after the NBA Finals. And but this, barring kind of a shocker, and the Lakers have done this before. They have shocked us with misdirection. Like I said, the Phil Jackson and D'Antoni hiring was a little bit of a shock, but the people who did that are no longer here. So it's looking. I don't got a crystal ball. I cannot predict the future, but it is looking more and more likely that everything that has been trending on JJ Reddick being the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers over the last month and a half looks like it is more and more trending towards that direction. And here comes the rollout, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be interesting because I think Laker Nation is kind of split on it. I think you got some people that are like, okay, well, we'll see what it is. And we got some people saying, hell no. You got some people saying, well, we just went through this with Darvin. We went through this with Luke Walton. Like, we don't want to go down this path again. And then you got, the Lakers side of it who think that JJ is further along when it comes to just basketball intelligence than those guys were. Feeling like he can probably command the locker room, command respect more than those guys could. And like I said, man, whether we like it or not, whether we're gonna embrace it or not, whether we think it's smart or not, we gotta start facing reality that this is happening more than likely. And like I said, this has been the likely scenario for a while now. And now, like I said, there's been way too much smoke for there to not be fire. And now we're starting to see some flames, y'all. We're starting to see some flames. And little by little, like I said, I've been telling you guys for a couple of weeks here that I felt that this JJ thing and these other names linked to it as potential head coaches was going to go down similarly to how the Vogel situation went down. And a lot of the people who were labeled as head coaching candidates are probably going to end up on the staff. There might be some names we didn't think of or hear because maybe some of them turned that down and the Lakers have to pivot. And, I mentioned how the Lakers are being kind of crafty and how they were linking Coach K and linking Ron Dudley's name and names in there to make this feel safe, right? Make this feel real safe. What up, Kareem? I see you, my brother. Appreciate you, bro. And he's they're doing things that are making you feel safe about this. Like I said, linking Coach K, making it seem like Bron's not attached to it, making it seem like they're bringing in potentially Borrego, which is AD's guy, potentially Rondo. There's a lot of things that are being done here that are smoke and mirrors to distract you from what's going on. And like I said, the machine was hard at work today. And it's brilliant when you think about it. It's brilliant. They show you something in one hand and then they go and make a move with the other hand. All it is just balancing you back and forth of how they want your emotions to play when it comes to watching these news. So let's just say there's no secret today that there was a bunch of Bron talking about Kyrie and then this JJ thing sliding out. This JJ news slipping out a few hours later. I'm just trying to tell y'all, man, the machine was hard at work today. Shout out to the machine, man. They are good at what they do. They are so good at what they do. You almost got to be ready, because when they drop something early on you, like, what's coming next? What's coming next? They make you look one way with JJ and Bron on the pod talking about Kyrie. Get Laker fans all riled up about Kyrie, and then bang, here comes Shams with the JJ. So what they're doing is they divided and conquered the pack right there. You see what I'm saying? So excellent move by the machine today, man, and what they did. Incredible, man. Great work, nasty work, but great, incredible, intelligent work by what the Los Angeles Lakers, Clutch Sports, and everyone is doing. And if y'all think for a half a second, that LeBron James has no input on this, or is not evolved on this coaching situation, well, then I really don't know what to tell you. But like I said, the machine is hard at work today. So this is getting closer to happening, y'all. I think it's just going to come down. I'm very interested, very interested to see what the Lakers end up paying when this is all said and done. Very interested to see what they're paying, because JJ has been rumored to have turned down jobs before. He's been rumored to be passing on a couple of gigs before. I say rumored, right? He's been rumored. We know he passed on the Charlotte gig. There were strong rumors that he passed on the Boston gig, or just passed on an interview with them. And so I'm curious to see on the strength of that, even though he's never coached before, he somewhat was in demand. We also don't know how many other teams were checking in on him this offseason, and then how many were just told basically not interested. So very interesting to see what he ends up getting paid here, because the Lakers, they haven't, since Phil, they really haven't paid high dollar for head coaches. They just haven't done it. And so now I'm just interested in seeing, how they go down this path and how they do it. So now it's going to be about who are these assistants? Who are they filling in around JJ? If, again, which I believe this is going to happen, but like I said, because deals can fall apart, man. If y'all know how many trades fell apart in the final stretch that never leak out, it's insane. So transactions get down to the finish line and fall apart all the time. However, I don't believe that this one will fall apart. There's a chance it could, but I think it's too far down. I think this has been done for so long that I don't see it falling apart. But stranger things have happened. Could it happen? Of course. Will it happen? I don't think so. But I do believe that at the very latest, once the finals is over, this is going to be announced, and that's going to be at the very, very latest. So, having said that, I think now that the cat's out of the bag here, I don't think there really is any mystique anymore. Like I said, this is a rollout, man. The Lakers are doing a rollout. They're sitting here little by little, layering out basically that it's going to happen, and just gauging each response. This is like leading up to an election. They got these are their little political polls or caucuses and stuff that they do on a rollout, just seeing approval rating here. And like I said, the rollout to this has been pretty crafty. Like I said, the linking of Coach K, adding Rondo's name to it, adding veteran assistant coaches' names to it. You know what I mean? So it's the way they've gone about this, it's creative and it's crafty. And it's not fooling me, but like I said, it's very crafty, it's very creative, and it's pretty smart. It actually is pretty smart. The amount, if you looked out there and you check the traction on Coach K, Rondo, Dudley, James Borrego has never been this popular in his life. In his life, he's never been this popular. You know what I mean? So that Laker cliche and that LeBron James cliche is you get attached to that. And like I said, the Lakers have discovered that misdirection this offseason, and they've been using it fairly well, man. So y'all just got to pay attention to what they do here. This is all I told y'all. If you took all of these, and this is, let me give you a little insight of how you decode these things. If you take a whiteboard, even a notepad, and you start putting these key points from all these articles and you just write them down, before you know it, it's going to be a puzzle that comes together. This is how it does. This is how it goes down. And the puzzle coming together, it's coming together more each day. And today, we got some pretty big pieces that came together. Now it's also, you give a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You got the Laker fan base talking about Kyrie. You got them talking about JJ. And you know what they're talking about less? Donovan Mitchell. You know what they're talking about less? DeJounte Murray. You know what they're talking about less? Darvin Ham. You know what they're talking about less? You know what I mean? You see what I'm doing? You see what I'm saying here? And so at the end of the day, a lot of things have to go right for the Lakers to get this right. A lot of things have to go right for this to end right. And that remains to be seen if and when this does end right. If they hire JJ, which I've said, I've been on record as saying, I think this is the only chance at a home run hire. It could also be a massive strikeout. I think his floor is just as bad as everyone else's floor, but I believe his ceiling is higher than any other candidate. Just because on the home run potential, I think he does have a chance. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm not saying he will be. I'm not saying it's going to even be right away. But I'm saying because of his personality traits, his kind of his attitude, his kind of snarkiness, snarliness, tenacity, all of those, I think he has more than what the last 2 or 3 Laker head coaches had combined when it comes to that. So that is an upside. I hear all the time. People are messaging me all the time, sending me messages all the time about how they want the Lakers to have someone that's going to hold players accountable. They want someone that's not just going to sit there with their hands in their pockets. They want someone that's going to control the locker room. They want someone who's going to borderline be combative with the front office and hold them accountable. Well, all of those things are JJ Reddick. I'm not trying to sell you on JJ Reddick. I have no idea what he's going to be. None. I have no idea what he's going to be. However, all these things that you guys are asking for are traits in JJ. They are. So now that has to translate to the basketball court, and the Lakers have to absolutely bring in veteran assistant head coaches. But I think that JJ Reddick has the personality to get in dudes' faces. I think he will get in dudes' faces. I could see it. I could definitely see it. Now, as far as controlling a locker room goes, he can't do it by himself. He can't do it by himself. It's very hard for a head coach to control the locker room by himself or herself, because sometimes you got to be hard on players and your assistant coaches have to put them back together for you, and vice versa. So he cannot do it by himself. But what I'm saying is him kind of being the face of it all, I could see that. I could see that potentially working. If you've got seasoned assistant coaches there, and if Bron gets back to like that 2020 level of leadership, not the 2021 through 2024 level of leadership, then maybe we have something. But I don't know. I can't predict the future. All I can say is he has a lot of traits that we've needed in our previous 3 head coaches that we didn't have. Now we got to see what translates to the basketball court when this gets finalized. We have to see what translates to the basketball court. And if this, excuse me, if this is someone that Bron is pushing for behind the scenes, then everyone's going to know that. If this is someone that Bron is co-signing, then everyone in the organization is going to know that. So he's going to be very supportive of this out the gate. He's going to show buy-in, as will AD. So when you have that out the gate, but again, this is going to come down to exactly what failed the Darvin Ham experience. Who is going to be these assistant coaches? Who's going to be these assistant coaches? Because if you bring in JJ and it comes down, if it looks anything like that Darvin Ham coaching staff did, then all bets are off. I have no one. Then just be prepared that he's here to land the plane until LeBron leaves. Then it's the LeBron farewell tour coach. It's Byron Scott to Kobe Bryant. That's what it's going to be. No disrespect to Byron. I'm just saying that's essentially what that hire was. So if they come in with no credible assistants, then that's what it's going to be. That's all you need to see. That's what it will be. But if they come in and they got someone like a JJ Borrego, they got someone like a Sam Cassell, they got someone like a Scotty Brooks, if they do something, they throw someone on the bench like Rondo to appease the fan base. If they do these things, then it actually shows that the Lakers actually care. I'm not saying they don't care, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of people who think they don't care about the actual product on the floor. Well, if they're spending money on these assistants, then that's going to show people that care about the product on the floor. And I can't hold you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not 100% convinced where they're at with this. A lot of people are saying they only care about making money. They don't care about winning. Some people are saying they care about winning, but they want to make money while doing so, and money comes first. I don't really know 100% where they're at. I don't. But without a true assistant, man, it's going to be difficult. Assistants. Without true assistant coaches, like certified, legitimate ones that could also get in players' faces. And honestly, some assistant coaches aren't scared to get in JJ's face. Because at the end of the day, he is going to be a rookie head coach. But it's this is just the beginning of it, y'all. This is just the beginning of it. Not the process. I think the process is done. It's just the beginning of the Laker offseason. And we got there's a lot of things to discuss with that when it comes to the players. There's a lot of different things that could be going on this offseason, man. And it's just going to get started with this coaching situation. But like I said, man, that machine was hard at work today. Got you guys all going with the Kyrie stuff in the morning, then hit you with the JJ stuff in the afternoon. Excellent work, man. Excellent work of getting done what they're doing here. So Lakers are doing this rollout here for JJ Reddick, man. So appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Let me go ahead and do the roll call here. If everyone who's in here was talking in for 20 minutes, a little late to check in with y'all, so I definitely appreciate y'all holding on. Roy, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. JSJ, what's going on, sir? Lakers, LA Sports Live, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Roy said, we are in good hands. Man, I hope so. I hope we are. Patrick, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Craig. How you doing, man? Said, welcome to Lakers Nation, Coach JJ. Yeah, it's pretty much been that. JJ going to be a topic of discussion. He's going to be a topic of discussion for a while. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as it was with Darvin Ham, if he does become the coach, like I said, I believe he will. If he does become the coach, then obviously I'm rooting for him to succeed. You had people, if they don't want a particular guy, then they just root against him the whole time because they want to be right? They're not even rooting. They're actually rooting for the team to fail because they'd rather be right than the Lakers be successful. See, I can't operate like that. I want my team to win. I told you. Like, just, okay, well, we get it. But let's win some games, man. And hopefully the Lakers get this right. Hopefully. Festo, what's up, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Let's see. Gilbert Vega, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. What's up with you? Appreciate you for being a member as well, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Anthony Paris says, let's go Nets. You guys got an interesting offseason too, man. Interesting. I'm not quite sold you guys are going to move Mikal, but you got some interesting moves to, this summer, and we're going to see where you guys go with that, man. It'll be interesting. JJ will be a blessing in disguise. Maybe he will. We're going to have to wait and see. Julian Pratt, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Let's see. Jeff living under a rock called a cave. Yeah, man. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on, sir? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Eric Kwan, what's going on, my guy? Kareem, what's up with you, my brother? Make sure to go to subscribe to the Kareem Report, man. My big brother in these YouTube streets, man. Great content on the daily over there. Whether he's at the office, at the crib, in the whip, just driving around New York City, out there giving that Laker intel, man, and the Beat 139. Make sure to follow both of his shows over there. Appreciate you, my guy. Judah Rising, what's going on, my sir? Let's go, JJ Reddick. Yeah, he might happen, bro. I think it's gonna happen sooner than later. Let's see. Sendo 873. He said, what's going on, Jeff? Been a while since I've watched your lives, but I'm not looking forward to JJ being the head coach. Hope he does well. By the way, Tim Connelly extending with the Wolves, not shocking. Yeah. First of all, appreciate you tuning in. I know you said you ain't watched for a while, but appreciate you circling back and catching tonight. And there's a lot of people not looking forward to that, Sendo. So you're definitely not alone. And you know what? I'm looking forward to closure, but I don't know necessarily I'm looking forward to JJ. This is how I felt the process was going to go. So I'm just looking forward for the circus portion of it to be over. The circus is never ends in LA, but what I'm saying is, like, I'm looking forward to just the announcement because I really want to see who the assistants are. Really want to see who the assistants are, and really want to hear JJ talk about what they're going to be running and things like that. And then once you know that, what his potential philosophy or strategy might be, then maybe we can start to get a little insight to what type of players the Lakers are going to be looking for this summer. Because until we know that, that'll help a little bit of a cheat code there. Doesn't mean they're going to get the guys, but give you a general idea of the type of players they'll be looking at. But, and yeah, Tim Connelly extending with the Wolves, not shocking. Definitely not shocking. It was kind of a Hail Mary pipe dream wish list for the Lakers. Even if he did opt out, I'm still not convinced it was a possibility that the Lakers were going to pay up. But he's a very, very good basketball executive. I didn't read the whole report. I was out walking lucky when that came through. But I saw that it was like kind of a restructure for the next year and keeps him there in the immediate future. So I don't believe it was long term. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't read the article yet. I was just going off the notification I got, but I believe that it's not long term. So that is interesting. Maybe he waits it out and then sees how the Wolves do next season, what happens with the ownership situation, and we'll go from there. But maybe I'm wrong because, like I said, I did not read the entire article. I just saw the post that came to my notification. Judah says, Jeff, we all need now is to knock on the Clippers' door for PJ Tucker to go along with AD. You are not letting that one go, huh, Judah? shout out to Lamont, man. Shout out to Lamont. Let's see. LA Baller. What's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support as always, man. Shout out DJ. Make sure to go subscribe to Lakers in 5, man. Incredible content. Great dude. Great work over there. Doing multiple shows on the daily. Popping on that LA West Coast lunchtime, man. So I'll be trying to adjust my snack schedule. I barely get lunch breaks, bro. But try to like grab a snack break there when DJ goes live and pull up to support my brother, man. So make sure you pull up Lakers in 5 over there, aka Mr. 60 Cent over there on his pre-workout before his shows, man. Right now doing push-ups and dips listening to the show. So shout out to DJ, man. Appreciate y'all and his whole community over there. A lot of you guys in the chat over here too. So make sure to pull up on DJ over there. Subscribe to Lakers in 5. Great content, man. Savage, what's going on, sir? Lakers 100% going the depth route. Only person, third option that fits the route is DeJounte Murray. Cheap enough third option who can close games very clutch. I think the Lakers would like to go the depth route. The problem is the Lakers, that depth is always hurt, man. And I'm one of those guys that's always like, give me the depth, give me the depth, give me the depth. Like that's always been me. But our depth is always hurt and non-productive when it comes to the point where we need the depth to shine through. Maybe we're picking the wrong depth, both in scale and character. But every single year, the depth just never comes through. I've always said, man, the depth will set you free. The depth will set you free. And it just never does. So you know what? I'm kind of to the point where I'm just like, man, just give me that third killer. Give me the third killer. Don't got to be a 40, 50, $60 million guy. Obviously, that would be bananas. But I keep coming back to that Donovan Mitchell, man, at 35 mil. At 35 mil, that's attainable, man. I'm talking about attainable to work within the cap and the things you can do. But Cleveland obviously has all the, a lot to say about that. But what I'm saying is, DeJounte would not be bad. I wouldn't be upset with DeJounte and another player. If DeJounte, here's the thing. We don't need a third, like, star. We need an all-star caliber player, a legit third option. Doesn't have to be a super max guy, like a crazy high paid guy. So that's why I said someone like Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray is about 25 mil, I believe, next year. Gives you even more flexibility. But like I said, man, like we just need that. We need a third dude, man. We need a third dude. D-Lo and AR are not third dudes. They're solid basketball players. If Austin Reeves is like the 5th or 6th best player on your team, you've got a solid team. If Austin Reeves is the 3rd best player on your team, you don't. And I said that on the Olympic team. If Austin Reeves was the 3rd best player on an Olympic team, well, that's a watered down Olympic team. That's no shade to Austin Reeves. He's a heck of a role player, heck of a player. I've always preferred Austin Reeves off the bench because I feel he's the same player, whether he starts or comes off the bench, and he can still close games or play starters minutes. But if you're going to have, like I said, we need someone. Ideally, you want 2 guys who can score and defend in the backcourt. Ideally, but that's spoiled. That's very hard to pull off. So ideally, you want 1 guy who can defend and at least hit open shots. Maybe not create his own shot. A 3-and-D guy. 3-and-D wing, 3-and-D guard, whatever. But like, then you gotta have a killer in that backcourt. You gotta have one that can get his own shot and can shoot, and maybe lacks a little bit defensively, But that other guy's got to be able to do it. Got to be able to do it. And D-Lo and AR, it's not it. It's not it when it comes to being able to guard NBA players in the backcourt. Having either one of those guys out there without the other in the starting lineup, your defense is better. But I just think they got to break that up. I think they got to break that up. Roy says, JJ's contract should be entry level with incentives like record, how far we go in the playoffs, and if we make it to the finals. Yeah, that would be great, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be that. He's going to get paid, man. What's going on, my brother Chris, man? Court Kings Chris, the graphic god in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Entertain me next year. Get me JJ Browning, the third good player. You know what, Chris? I think there is a legitimate chance that is going to happen, man. I think there's a chance, man. Frank, what's going on, guy? He said JJ gets hired, LeBron staying. Yeah, I think you're 2 for 2 on that. Lakers all day. What's going on, my guy? Lakers in 5. Look up Jesse Edwards. He's 7'1", 7'2", wingspan. So you talk about where does he arrange to get picked? The Lakers more than likely are not keeping their first round pick. They're probably buying a second round pick for Bronny. So you got to be looking at who they get at 55 because whatever pick they buy earlier than 55 is going to be used on Bronny. Julian says LeBron ain't going nowhere. Nope, he's not. Frank says I can't see JJ controlling the locker room. I hear you. He not by himself. What I'm saying is I think JJ has enough of he's got enough jerk in him. You know what I mean? So like if he has a solid assistant coach core, then I think he could. Rob, what's going on? Salute to you, man. Appreciate you. Leak, what's going on? He said, what's going on, Jeff? I know you can't see into the future, but what do you think happens with D-Lo this offseason? There's a lot of different directions that can go here with D-Lo. I've touched on this in a few other shows, and it all depends on what D-Lo does. Now, a lot of people are speculating for sure that he opts out, and maybe he does. But I'm telling you right now, his agent is out there canvassing the league, looking around, trying to see what's out there, trying to gauge how much interest is in him. Like I said, you've got players out there that teams are gonna value more than D-Lo out the gate. And because of that, like he could miss out on some money. He could miss out on some money, especially like let's say Detroit, because the Zach LaVine situation just screams Detroit basketball. You know what I mean? So let's say Zach gets salary dumped into Detroit and eats up majority of their cap money, right? And let's say Orlando maybe snags a Malik Monk. Okay. Maybe, who knows, maybe San Antonio snags a Tyus Jones, right? Then you're looking around like, I'll tell you this right now, we better all pray to the basketball guys that OKC does not get Malik Monk, because I'm hearing some stuff there. I'm hearing some stuff there. And it's not the stuff I want to hear. I'll tell you that right now. But man, no one's talking about that either. So just remember. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of teams who aren't going to make D-Lo their number one option. And as a result of that, I believe there are teams interested in D-Lo, but they don't have the means to get him via free agency. So if D-Lo's agent does his homework, and it's very illegal, but very normal, goes out there and realizes that it is actually in his best interest to opt in. So then therefore he can be traded to a team that does not have cap space, but can trade for him. And that's where you start looking at things. So that's where things can get interesting with D-Lo. So I think a lot of people are rushing to the point, or he's going to opt out, and then the Lakers got to figure out sign and trades and all these different scenarios and all these different things. And while true, I'm going to continue to say, do not sleep on D-Lo opting in. Don't sleep on it. I'm not saying it's the most likely course. I'm not saying it's the most probable. But what I'm saying is there's an absolute chance that he still opts in. And if he does, like I said, for him and the Lakers, it provides options. Plenty of options. And they're going to have to wait and see what those options deliver if and when he does that, man. Frank says, clown show without a true assistant. I agree with you. Without a doubt. JJ will get buy-in from AD and King, and everyone else will follow. I think so, especially if like I said, if they're behind the scenes laboring for this, then they got no choice but to hold their guys in check. So I think so too. Leak says, I agree. I think the JJ hire was risky, but also a good choice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I keep coming back. I did a video on this before. I get a very, very in-depth one about it. Matter of fact, when I did that video, I dropped the Pat Riley reference 3 days before the media did. I'm just throwing it out there. Go back and check the timestamp on that. All right, check the timestamp on that. So, like I said, and you see how that leaked, that the Lakers see him as that. Aha! All right, I dropped that 3 days before the story dropped. All right, I'm just trying to tell y'all, man. But like I said, so they just didn't have the options that they loved. Ty Lue being available would have been the best case scenario, but it never was an option. Never was a reality. Thank God Doc Rivers wasn't available, because I'm telling you, that would have been a nightmare, and it probably would have happened. Ugh. Oh my God, that was, hold on, let me get it. Ugh, God, it just got, hold on. I gotta drink water after that, man. I feel nauseous. Oh my God. Can you imagine having a head coach to try not to knock out our championships? Okay, I gotta stop. I'm getting upset. Hezbollah, what's going on, sir? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a good one, man. Festo says Lakers are stacking bread, don't care about winning. And that's a fair assessment. That's fair. A lot of people feel that way. In my heart of hearts, I believe that obviously they would love to win. But while doing it their way, running their business their way, I think they would love to win, but running their business the way they've been doing it. And I don't know if continuing to run the business the way that they are doing it is going to ever lead to wins again in the Bron and AD era. I don't know. What do y'all think? I don't know. Like, Bron's just going to continue to get older. AD is getting older. AD is in his prime. The summer is big. The summer is huge. And the fact that while it may turn out to still be a home run higher, it might. We still don't know. Like, we still don't know. It could be a disaster. It could be terrible. It could be a dumpster fire. We don't know. We do not know. And as a result of that, like, for it being that important of a summer, it's still a little nerve-wracking, because let's say they get it done. You know, when a team hires a new head coach, especially the Los Angeles Lakers, you want to be excited about it, man. We just got that dude. Now, maybe JJ becomes that dude, but he's not coming in as that dude. It's going to take some time, and we have to wait it out. What's going on, James Caldwell? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being a member once again. Said, what up, Empire, Lakers, and fam? Pray this is the last head coach that we have for a long time. And that's it right there. That's it right there. We need that, like, 7-8 year dude. Like, we need that. Like, man, can we get it? Oh, man. The best thing in the world would be if JJ turns into like a Spo. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like that guy that's just our coach for 15 years. We don't got to worry about looking for a head coach the next 15 years. Now, that heat culture is a little played, annoying, and stupid. But, man, I want to be able to, like, where's our Laker culture, man? I want a culture. We want a culture. Let me get a culture. Let me add a culture to the shopping cart. Check out. Buy now. Let's get us a culture, man. That's what I want. Get us a culture. I can make fun of the heat culture. I'm going to make fun of it because it's fun to do it. But, I mean, they claim they got a culture. They got, like, you know what I mean? We got no culture. It's a turnover every year. It's a novella with a whole different cast every year. And we need a culture, man. Get us a culture. And if JJ can deliver on a culture, like I said, a home run head coaching fire, to be honest with y'all, straight up, a home run coaching hire might be bigger than signing a star player. Straight like that. Like, it might be. Because, like I said, if we get someone that can, and again, I know this is borderline talking crazy. I know it. What I'm saying is because I don't know if it's going to happen as far as him becoming that. But if JJ ends up being a guy that can be here for a decade, then, man, that's almost as important as signing a star player. And if we can get a culture changer, a culture setter, that's exactly what this team needs, man. That's exactly what this team needs. And whether it's JJ or not, I don't know, but we just need that. We need that like water. We need that. We need that next great NBA head coach to be on the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers. We need that. So maybe it's hoping out for, maybe it's foolish hope. But, man, we need that so bad. So I don't see any of these other guys as being that. And because JJ has that unknown factor, then he still has that potential home run. He does. He definitely has that bases loaded strikeout potential too. He does, but he's got grand slam potential too. Walk-off grand slam potential. He does. But he also got that, that game 7 bases loaded strikeout potential. It makes it scary, exciting at the same damn time. But because he has that home run potential, I get why he's the candidate that they are zeroing in on, quote unquote. I get it. Miguel, what's going on, my guy? I have a gut feeling JJ is going to be the dude. He can be our Sean McVay. Are you, coach, ready to thrive in his new position? The basketball gods had to reward after 13 plus years of mediocre coaches. And that's a great comparison. I keep comparing him to basketball people, but that's absolutely right. A Sean McVay comparison. My God, you know how huge that would be for this team? You know how huge that would be? Man, and again, that's a lot to ask for. It's a lot to ask for, and it's borderline unrealistic and borderline just improbable. But man, if it becomes anywhere close to that, then we'll be in great shape, man. No, you're good, Miguel. I appreciate your support, man. Drive safe. Savage, what's going on, my guy? He said, all these trash trades we're hearing for 17 DFS Jordan Clarkson, plus every injured player is like Robert Williams rather than use it on a big or a wing. Well, Savage, like I've told you guys a million times, those reports are nothing. Most of them are absolute nothing. Most of them never become anything. So I really wouldn't get worked up on rumors until you start hearing that they're progressing towards a deal, or the key word here, framework of a deal, or progressing on a deal, or nearing a deal. So like any of this stuff is just hearsay. And you got to understand, a lot of these guys check in with these guys and talk about who you talked about. Like I've heard times, bro. Where someone has told me that they just talked to someone from a team for the first time since the trade deadline. And this was like in the offseason. And like they were quoting on because they had interest in a particular player on the trade deadline, that they were just assuming that they still would have interest in that player in the offseason, and we're reporting it. And this is what I'm trying to say. And then when they make that report, they get pushback or they get a call. They're like, okay, it's not happening. Right. But this is the type of level of stuff that does happen because they think that they had interest in them before, that they still do. And that's not always the case. It's not always the case. And so I've literally been sitting next to a person when the phone call came in telling them that, hey, that's not the case no more, bro. We talked like 4 months ago. So that happens too. So when it comes to these reports, take them with a grain of salt. I keep telling you guys this, even from the heavy hitters, take it with a grain of salt, because they're not lying to you. The heavy hitters, these guys that you guys like household names, they're not lying to you, but they are only as good as the information that they're getting, and teams and agents and players and publicists, all these people, family members, all these people put stories out to serve their agenda. And some media people get used. Now, some of them know how to spot it and don't touch it. Some of them spot it, but recognize the value in the info and want to drive that volume and that traffic. And that's just how the business goes. But just take it with a grain of salt, y'all. Chris says, J-Bus has been stacking bread for a while now. They're not billionaires like other owners. Yeah, that's the thing. The real problem with the Lakers, and it sucks to call it a problem because it really is more of a unfortunate situation. But the Lakers, as well documented, they just don't have the pockets or the bag like some of these other teams. Like, it's just a known fact. And there's multiple partners, siblings, majority owners. Like they have like a board, like essentially, right? And so while Jeannie is the face of it, she's the one that's out there in front of it. But there's plenty of people who she has to answer to. Now, she can make her decisions independently, but the more it goes wrong, the more she has to hear from these people. And the more she gets pushed back on that, and she has to somewhat serve that board in a way. And when you're sitting there and they're like, look, we can't even compete with these billionaires. We can only use our legacy. We can't go out there and buy these things, essentially. but we have the cachet to where we can attract it. But what that means is that when you do have the ability to attract it, you cannot mess it up. You can't mess it up. If you get a top draft pick, you can't mess it up. If you go into a summer where you have 3 unprotected first-round picks, pick swaps, seconds, and all these things that you can trade, you cannot mess it up because you are 4 or 5 years away from being in this position again. That's a whole era of a team. 4 or 5 years, like that's a run. That's a run of a team. Like it's very rare or hard to keep a team together for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever years, and that core and that group together. That's very, very hard. So this is their last chance for a while, unless they just blow it all the way up, trade AD, move everything they can just for picks. But outside of that, like they have to get this summer right. That starts with the head coach. Secondly, with the assistants. Third, the offseason. Who they trade for, depending on what the books are like after that. What type of MLE do they have? Who's available for the minimum? What happens with D-Lo? Are Austin and Rui gone? Like they can't mess this up. This can't be the summer of 2020. This can't be the summer of 2021. It just can't be. It cannot be the summer of 2022. Like it can't be. So they need all hands on deck. And the scariest part about that is we're not only talking about the teams, the team with probably a major market team with less money than some of these other teams, but you're also talking about the smallest front office in the league, resources wise. The Lakers have been great with scouting, but they've got a small scouting department. Their GM and the president is the same person. Like they don't have your typical NBA war room. It's like what makes the Dodgers so special. Like top to bottom, just everything that they have is crazy. All these resources they have. The Lakers don't have those resources. Now, why their brand will always be bigger than the Clippers have way more resources. But the Lakers can attract people just off the brand. But the thing is, you don't always have the resources to get it right when you mess up. So they have to get this right now. They have to get this right. Let's see. Miguel says, JJ challenges anything and anyone that doesn't match the facts. Stephen A is the poster child for ESPN, and he doesn't hesitate to challenge him if his takes don't match the facts. Yeah, that's what I've been saying about JJ. I think he'll get in people's faces. I think he'll challenge people, including players. I think he'll have some heart-to-heart with Rob. I think he'll tell it like it is with Jeannie. I really think he will. Now, does that work? Does that blow up on their faces? I don't know. But I think that he's definitely going to be that guy. So when I say that, I believe that JJ is the guy that these last 3 guys weren't from a personality standpoint. That I do believe to be true. But does that translate to wins? Does it translate to cohesion on the basketball court? I don't know. You can look at a lot of the offenses that JJ has played in. They're quite similar. And maybe that's what he brings to the table. If you look what Duke ran, if you look at kind of what the Clippers ran, but then if you're bringing in James Borrego, he's an offensive mind who runs a lot of those old school style Iverson sets. So maybe it's kind of a combination of the two. But what I'm saying is like, bringing in JJ as kind of like the quote unquote only maybe potential flashy hire you can do without those assistants, man. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, very strong character for sure. D Prince, what's going on, my guy? I'm skeptical about JJ being our coach, but not surprised anymore. All I'm looking for now is who the assistants will be. Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to sell anyone on JJ because I have no idea what JJ is going to be. I don't. I think that JJ has potential to be like a lifer in basketball, obviously a player. His podcast covering the game, ESPN. You know, I always thought maybe he'd be in a front office more than a head coach, but but he's a guy that's been around the game, and it looks like one of these guys that's going to be permanently around the game. So some of those guys just stick around. You know what I mean? They just stick around. Zachary, what's going on, man? He said, what's good, Jeff? Like Lakers hiring JJ either goes really bad, really good, or really bad. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. The three killers, DeJounte Murray. I wouldn't hate that, Lakers all day. I really wouldn't hate that. But depends. Like, what's the price for him? Like, what's the price for him? We know it wasn't one pick. We know it wasn't one pick. So you got to ask yourself, like, if the price for DeJounte Murray is 3 picks, I'm passing. I'm passing. What do y'all think is fair? Forget the players. Forget the players. How much draft capital do you think is fair in a trade for DeJounte Murray? Let me know. Because it's going to take at least 2. At least 2. If Atlanta wants 3, I say no. I'm saying no. Let me know what y'all think. I told y'all, get me the 3rd star. Yeah, man, sometimes you need that 3rd killer, man. Raw, what's going on, man? Exactly. We need that. Like I said, but here's the thing. Like, I've spoke about this a couple times too. Looking at the Westbrook trade and seeing how that depleted depth is completely different than someone like a Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray trade. Okay. Donovan Mitchell about 35 million, DeJounte Murray about 25. Cap has gone up since that Westbrook trade, right? So 35 million, that's basically 2 players. Like, let's say Rui and Austin-ish plus a minimum guy or something like that, some filler, right? So you could get to that without giving up craziness. Okay. So what I'm saying is, where it was Russ, where you had to give up a lot of your core, a lot of your depth to make that happen, that was for one guy, right? So what I'm saying is, it's a little different now than it was with the Russ thing. But people, I did an article on this, man. I invite you guys to go. Let me throw it in the chat here. Let me see. What is that out here? Forgetting my own article link here. I'm gonna throw this in the chat because I think if you guys haven't checked it out, go check out the article I did about why I believe the Lakers should make a move for Donovan Mitchell, should make the attempt to make a move for him. Like I said, Cleveland will have a lot to say in that. But I'm going to drop that link in the chat. Go ahead and take a look at that article because I touch on a lot of things there that I think kind of help paint a little different picture on why I believe they should make that trade. Now, I need y'all to do me a favor, though, man. We got 80 people in the building on YouTube right now. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Like I said, about 30% of the people here every night have yet to subscribe to the channel. So I'd greatly appreciate if you guys would drop a sub up to the channel. Drop a like on the video. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Share this video. I keep forgetting to say that. Put it out there on your socials. Put it out there on social media, man, and get it out there. Definitely need to spread the word about the show out here. So we greatly, greatly appreciate y'all. And also, you can become a member on the show. The first link in the description is how to become a member. For less than the cost of lunch, you could become a member for a month. Member-only videos, some vlogging, and some giveaways coming real soon. So greatly appreciate everyone who's already become a member. But going to become a member over there, appreciate y'all. But like I said, at the very least, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. You'd be greatly, greatly appreciated, man. Chris says, yep, they're a good player. Roy says, folks are skeptical of JJ because of the unknown. But what gives me hope, there is no way in hell he can be worse than the mental midgets. See that? I mean, here's my thing. Like you guys have known my take on Darvin. I'm not as brutal on Darvin as a lot of you guys are, but I'm here to tell you that if the Lakers don't enforce a legitimate assistant coaching staff, then JJ more than likely is going to meet the same fate as Darvin. It's more than likely going to happen if the roster is not up to snub. If the players are again an issue, then it's going to be a problem as well. However, I do like the fact that JJ's personality is completely opposite of Darvin because I think that's what this team needs. I think they need a guy that's going to call them out. They really do. They really do. D Prince says, in my opinion, depth built is not fit for the Lakers. Too bright being a Laker and very few role players can thrive here. 3rd star is best build, but not a too old star. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like our depth is always hurt, has been shrinking in the moment. And that's what I'm saying. Ideally, depth is incredible. Two really good basketball players, star level players, and then reliable role players. The problem is their Laker role players have just continued to disappear. And like I said, I'm a guy that's typically favored depth, but I'm kind of getting tired of waiting for the depth to happen because they're always hurt. You know what I'm saying? Mitchell changed his profile to Cavs. Plus, he's interacting with the Cavs account. I think he loves being a Cav. He's signing that extension. We'll see. We'll see. It could be just him not making a big deal about it, not embarrassing them. And sometimes that's how you get what you want. So while this could be true, Savage, until he signs it, we'll wait and see. He could absolutely sign it. I don't think he will, but he could absolutely sign it. But we will have to wait and see on that. Murray and Caruso, I like that background. Yeah, that's exactly. I've been saying that for a minute. Let's say you can get DeJounte for 2 picks. Let's say you can make that happen, right? And then you got another first round pick to make another move. Like that will probably be a little bit more ideal. But again, I don't know what the price for DeJounte is. If DeJounte is 3 picks, I'm not doing it. If he's 2 picks, we could talk about it. But I would even like to put a little light protection on that second pick. Especially if Atlanta's trying to clear the deck. We have to wait and see. There's going to be a lot of teams getting wild this summer, y'all. I'm telling y'all. There's going to be moves coming that y'all didn't see or think about. Stuff's going to happen. This summer's going to be very, 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 very interesting. No doubt. Purple and Gold, what's going on, man? My question to you, Goat Empire, appreciate you, man, is who's in charge of hiring JJ's associate assistant? Ideally, so here's the thing. Here's how it should work, in my humble opinion. This is how it should have worked with Darvin, too. The Lakers should be like, look, you want your head coach to pick their staff. You want that. But you want that when you got a veteran head coach. When you got a rookie head coach, it's going to need some assistance. And to be honest, assistant with the assistants. And to be honest, I truly feel that's what the existence of Coach K's name is. I don't think Coach K was there to co-sign JJ. You guys have heard me mention this before. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Coach K is there to co-sign JJ. I think Coach K is there to help JJ sort through his assistants and how to build a culture and to make the transition. I think that Coach K is working with LeBron and JJ on this. And I think that's smart. And because of what went wrong with Darvin with the assistants, I think that the Lakers need to set a criteria. Like your associate head coach has to be someone who is a former head coach of so many years, a former head coach with so many playoff appearances or so many accomplishments, whatever it is. This is the criteria for your associate head coach, your number 1 assistant guy. This is the criteria for your number 2 chair. Your number 3 chair needs this criteria. And I think if you set those criterias, then you give them a framework and something to go and what to go look for. You give them a plan. You give them a goal, and you give them the tools to go achieve that goal. That's what any good owner, manager, director will do. You give them their goals, but you got to give them the proper tools to go complete those goals. And if they do that, they set those criterias, but then they give them an adequate budget to actually go achieve it. That's when you try to see the things come through. So, like I said, when you hear the names of like a Sam Cassell or a Dudley and guys like this, these are guys who are going to move up a chair from where they're currently at. So it's no secret that all of a sudden Doc is out here, quote unquote, trying to get Sam Cassell back and trying to overpay. He's doing to the Lakers what the Lakers did to the Clippers with Ty Lue. He's trying to drive that price up for Cassell. He's trying to drive his name up and pique more interest in him. So what I'm saying is if Sam Cassell gets to move up a chair to come to LA, then he's probably going to want that. Same with Dudley in Dallas. I know Scott Brooks has been linked to it, like all these other guys. So Borrego, right? So these names, Rondo would probably be some guy that would be a heavy film room guy or player development, stuff like that, which would allow these guys to move up a chair from where they're at now. And that wouldn't be like a terrible staff. Wouldn't be a terrible staff. You know, you heard Stan Van Gundy linked to it. I'm just saying names that have been linked. So who knows? Like, it's to me, to fully judge this hire or potential hire is seeing fully who the assistants are. Once we know who these assistants are, then it's like, okay, let's get to work, y'all. Let's get to work. Let's see what this team could do. But until we know those assistants, it's going to be very tough. Roy says Bronny should only get a 10-day contract. That's not happening, man. Mr. Smith says, is basketball even a sport? I hope so. If not, I've been fooled my whole life. Ross says, I believe in JJ. I'm going to give him a chance. We got to get the roster right too. I'll go the depth route. Gotcha. Okay. Chris says, no, forget the depth. Go get a third player we can trust in the fourth quarter or in a playoff series, right? A guy that can be that guy who can truly, truly help. Purple and Gold said, is Borrego, Rondo, is Borrego, Rondo almost a sure thing? If it is, we should sign CP3 since they're the best of friends. No, I don't think any of these assistants are a sure thing. I do believe that there is a chance that some of these guys can come along with JJ, but we don't really know yet. We don't really know yet. We've been hearing that Borrego is a legitimate candidate for the job. I'm not buying that. If he does get it, that would surprise me. But having said that, like, I would not mind him as a top assistant. You know what I mean? So we don't know for sure who the assistants are going to be. We don't know, because while the Lakers may want them or could be linked to them, it all comes down to, are they going to pay up? Are they going to pay up? And that's what it comes down to. I don't know if the Lakers are going to. I hope they do. We're going to have to wait and see. JSJ says, can JJ build a culture to the team? That remains to be seen. I hope so. And like I said, if you have JJ with his type of personality and some strong assistants, then I think you're on the right path. Lakers need a culture change badly. Facts. Ross says, okay, my business, they're talking to each other. We need a center too to help AD out. We do need another big. We do. But again, you gotta start with, okay, who's coaching this team? What philosophy are you running? And yes, they need a point of attack defender, and they need another big. That's a fact. All I want from JJ is to put AD at the 4 and no 3-guard lineups. Well, again, I know you guys always talk about the 3-guard lineups, but if you look around these playoffs, many teams are running them. Just letting you know, man. Let's see. Casual, what's going on, Reese? He said, what up, Empire? Jeff, been a minute. What's going on, my brother? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your support, my guy. Depth hasn't helped us since 2020. Tell me what our depth did last year. Yeah, our depth has been constantly hurt. And that's the problem. Like I said, I'm usually a guy that wants depth. I usually like a team with depth, but I'm tired of the depth always being hurt or disappearing in the moment. I just really am at this point. We got to get depth players like we had in 2020. Those are just so hard to get now. You got to really think about how that all played out, about how they got those guys in 2020. And it's almost impossible to pull that off again. It just almost is. And I think one of the true blessings of 2020 was how that roster came together. And it's very, very, very hard to have a roster like that outside of guys you drafted yourself. It's very, very hard. James says, I also hope that JJ imply an offense system that we can run and be successful without LeBron and AD playing. So that's the thing, right? When you're on the road, or one of your stars is out, or your stars are tired, or defense is making them work, having an offense that can get your role players going is absolutely important. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. So hopefully they can make something like that happen. But like I said, someone like JJ Borrego, his style, like if you look at how Charlotte played and how New Orleans looked when he got there, he's a guy that can do that. But you got to have shot makers. And like I said, if you're going to get out there and have Bron and AD on your team, you have to be very careful and wise of who you fill in around them. You can't make any mistakes. And it's going to be tough for the Lakers to sit back and say, okay, Lakers, don't make mistakes. Because are they capable of doing this? Like, is Rob going to be able to pull this off? How far into the tax is Genie going to go? Like, these are questions that need to be asked before we know what's the next move. Mr. 81, what's going on, my guy? I'm so done with these rookie coaches. Lakers don't know what the F they are doing. I can respect that, and I get it. My thing is, I'm just not excited about any of these other candidates. I'm not. JJ, like, kind of makes sense when you think about these other candidates. But again, it's gonna come down to the assistants. Whoever his assistants are almost as key as his hire. What's so funny about a third star or third good player? It's on Rob to make it work. It's just job facts. Facts, Chris. We need depth around AD and Bron, no 3-star. Look at the Suns. Well, see, the thing is, the Suns is okay. I think those aren't the same thing. I think when people say star, I think you got to understand. Okay, so Bradley Beal is too overpaid to be the third guy. So, like I said, star is that word star player. I kind of hate the term star because the range of it is so crazy. We need a legitimate third option. A legitimate third option. Now, ideally, someone who's a fringe all-star or has been multiple-time all-star. not on a super max, which Bradley, like, you can't have your third guy making the money of a Bradley Beal. So that's not the same thing. Someone like a DeJounte Murray or Donovan Mitchell is nowhere near the same range as like a Bradley Beal. So those guys like can probably give you what Brad gave Phoenix, but way more money flexibility and way less tax. And you're not in the second apron. So, like I said, I think it's when you compare these things, you kind of have to frame them in a way that makes sense, right? So when people, not saying you, I'm saying when people say, oh, they're going to get a third superstar, like that immediately is going to turn people off because people are going to think about the money, right? People are going to think about the money. It's one of the main reasons I don't want Zach LaVine. It's not I don't think Zach LaVine is a good player. I just don't want our third guy making that money on like 4 more years on his deal. Like, I don't want that. Now, true, it's not my money and I'm not spending it. Why do you care about the money? Because I care about my team's future. It's not as simple as, oh, pay him $100 million. I don't care. It's not our money. That's fine if they can continue to go get other people. But when your third guy literally locks you in, then no, I do care about the money because I understand the salary cap, because I understand the CBA, because I understand the business of basketball almost more than anyone on YouTube. So in order of saying that, like when people say, why do people talk about the money? It's because it's always about the money. You have a cap, you have aprons, you have tax. The money matters in how you build your team. Point blank, period. So someone, like I said, someone in the range, the ideal range for a third option, I don't want to use the word star anymore. For the third option, a legitimate third option is the range between DeJounte Murray and Donovan Mitchell, money-wise. That's the range. Anyone north of that right now can put us potentially in a Phoenix situation, which I would be shocked. Now, it's not happening. The Lakers are not going into the second apron. They're not going to do it. So the Lakers, no matter what they do, whether it's an official hard cap or not, the Lakers will be hard capped at that second apron. They will not go over it. They won't. And if I'm wrong on that, this will be probably one of the most shocking things that I didn't see coming. But they are not going over that second apron. So the third option guy is going to be a guy that doesn't put them in position to do so. Leak says, I don't think the Lakers can win another ring in the LeBron AD era. Too many mistakes, such as letting Caruso go, trading for Westbrook, not signing Ty Lue. Leak, I do not disagree with you. They're going to have to convince me that they can win this ring in this era. They're going to have to convince me because, like I said, this Laker front office, ownership, they've kind of, and I hate saying this, but I'm trying to keep it a buck. I hate saying this, but they've almost run out of equity. Like you got us 1 chip in 14 years. That's some Boston Celtics stuff. Get out of here. 1 chip in 14 years. Look. This is what we used to. We the tower. They're the stilts. You see that? This is what we're used to. This is the last 50 years. These don't even count Minnesotas that they want to take from us. So take Minnesota from us. This is 50 years. All right? This is what we are used to. So that Laker equity, they owe us. They owe us. Her pops paid the bill. He took care of us. He took all of Laker Nation out to eat and paid the check. He covered us. Not Lil Genie. But we all at the table right now. We ordering. We getting some drinks. We got some appetizers, some food. We got everything. That check is coming. Is she gonna run out of it? Is she gonna pay, right? Like we need. It's Jeannie's turn to pay the check and pay the tab. It's her turn. Now I think she can do it. But she got to do it. She got to do it. But that Laker equity starting to run low, man. Starting to run low. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay, that one here. Chris says, third good player, maybe third star is the wrong word. Third good player. Our depth hasn't helped for years. Guys want it again. Yeah, and again, there's arguments for both sides. And theoretically and ideally, the depth would be the right way. It just hasn't worked for us for many reasons. And you guys have touched on it in the chat. Lights are too bright. Role players disappear. They're always hurt. Like, these things always rear their ugly heads when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers in crunch time. All the time. Ideally, you want multiple pieces. You want depth. You want all of that. But it just hasn't been happening. They haven't been showing up when it's time to show out. Or they're in street clothes. Or they trick us and make them think they're activated for games and they're just sitting over there not playing. So like I said, the depth is ideal. But the depth on paper does not translate to depth on the court unless they are on the court and they're adding depth to that box score. Elder, what's going on, my brother? Appreciate you, Bruce. Brother, salute to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Appreciate you, Elder. Jeff, about D-Lo's contract, I'm hearing we can sign and trade it for anything except another sign and trade, correct? No, I mean, so there's a lot of different things you can do with it. So if you sign and trade D-Lo out, you can do that, and that caps you at the second apron. However, you got to be careful what you send him out and what comes back with it, because anything over a certain percentage ain't going to hard cap you at another level. So you've got to be careful on what you do. Ideally, like it would be sign and trading him. So ideally, like if it is a sign and trade, ideally would be moving D-Lo to a team that the only reason a sign and trade would be included would be so that he can get the maximum money from that team. So maybe he wants a 5th year from that team, and they can't offer the 5th year because they can offer 4. Now, maybe it's not maximum money, but maximum years. So let's say Orlando, right? Let's say Orlando is like, okay, we're going to get D-Lo. D-Lo's like, I want that 5th year. Sign and trade me here. Lakers like, we're not taking no players back. Maybe we'll take a pick or a player we can move later, whatever it is. And the Lakers come back with like a trade exception, right? Which a lot of people are not talking about, right? Which I think is something the Lakers may look into. So let's say they come back with a trade exemption now, but they, rather than losing D-Lo for nothing, he's out of there now, but you got a tool that you can use now. Okay. So essentially, that's like giving you some money on your books again, right? But now you got to be careful on how you use it, because you can't go over certain tiers, especially if you hard cap yourself, or if you use this, you can't use it over certain things. So the CBA polices that too. But again, you have to have the clear idea of what your objective is and how to use it, and have a plan on what to use it all. Now, let's say D-Lo brings back like a $23 million trade exemption or something like that, right? The Lakers don't have to use all of it. They can essentially use it as another mid-level. Now, maybe they go and get a guy for 15 mil. Now, they got a $22 million trade exemption, but they only use 15 of it. You see what I'm saying? So there's things that they could do with it, that by D-Lo being sent out in a sign and trade versus bringing someone back in, or you can just trade him for a player, right, that's already under contract. So you could see something like this. Let's say Toronto says, okay, well, we're interested in D-Lo now. We want D-Lo on a 3-year deal. And the Lakers are like, okay, look, we'll sign D-Lo to the same exact dollar amount that Bruce Brown is making. You pick up Bruce Brown's option. We will send you D-Lo in a sign-in trade, which will hard cap Toronto at the first apron and the Lakers at the second. They're trading for 100% money, identical, bringing it back to the Lakers. Now, that's an example, right? Because the Lakers still have strong interest in Bruce Brown. I don't know Toronto's interest in D-Lo, but I'm just using that as an example. That is something that they could do. So look around something like that. Find a player that maybe has a year or two left that maybe the Lakers would have interest in. All they would have to do is match D-Lo's salary to exactly that, 100%, send him out. That team would have to be eligible to be involved in a sign-in trade. So there's a lot of different things that can do it, but it can happen. I thought after the Jim Bus era, we would stop sucking. Now we continue to suck again, but at least we won a chip. We suck again. What is that? Well, Waterboy. Dante said, off topic, Jeff. But if you're a Dodgers fan, looking forward to the matchup this weekend against my Yankees, and Judge is looking like the best player in the league when he is right. Going to be fun. Yeah, Dante, man, that Yankee team is strong. I've been watching the games. I watched them tonight. Man, Giancarlo smacked one today. Shout out to John Carlos Stanton, man, Panorama City, California. That's like 4 minutes from my house, man. I remember watching him back in the day. Shout out to him, man. But yeah, man, these Yankees are no joke. And Garrett Cole's not even back yet. Last year's Cy Young Award winner is not even back yet. Juan Soto killing, Judge killing, bullpen killing. They got to stay healthy, man. They got to stay healthy. Chris says, tell him, Jeff. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him. Where we at? Let's scroll down here. Richard, what's going on, man? I like the idea of Fultz and Carter Jr. I've always liked Fultz, man. I feel like once he's figured his career out and got back on track, I've always liked him. I'm rooting for him. Carter Jr., those deals are possible, but I've been rooting for Fultz for a few years now. A pick at best and a swap. So we're talking about Murray at this point. Let's see. I don't think any team is giving up 2 unprotected picks for him unless they're trash picks. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to see what some of these other players go for. Like, let's see what Kuzma goes for, right? They're trying to say they want 2 picks for Kuzma. They're trying to say 2 picks for Caruso. I don't know if teams are going to get this, right? So let's say Caruso and Kuzma go for 1 pick. Let's say those guys get 1 pick. Then Murray definitely qualifies for 2. Okay. So that's where I'm kind of at. So like, let's say if you could get Murray with 2 picks, now you got another pick where you can get a Kuz or Caruso potentially. All right. And that's what I'm saying. So that type of path of getting a Murray and another guy, as opposed to 3 picks on Mitchell, that's a path that I would not be mad at. I almost might prefer. Excuse me. But it remains to be seen. Like I said, I don't know 100% what those markets are yet. Lakers don't have that third quarter? What do you mean? There's rumors that JJ is putting input on the Lakers lineup. A head coach should, by letting them know what he wants to run, should definitely have some guys on the short list that he would like to see them attain. That's not abnormal. Lakers don't have their third killer. Yeah, okay, yeah. They don't have a third killer, for sure. Imagine plumbers and firemen relying against JJ outside the Celtics building next season, protesting. Gemini, what's up, man? He said, what's up, Jeff? I'm not sweating this coaching news until it's officially official. Until then, man, I'm ready for the playoffs. Watch my Yankees, some WNBA. It's until it's official, and then I'll focus on the news. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely not official, but I think it's done. I think it's been done for a while. They're starting to kind of do their rollout, kind of letting it kind of get out of there a little bit. So I definitely think it's going to happen. I'd be shocked if it didn't. Way too much smoke to not be fire. At this point, I'm just waiting to see what that assistant situation looks like, and then kind of going from there. But at this point, man, drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Like I said, we are over 80 people in the building right now. Only 30 likes on the video. Come on, Ron. Where you at, Ron? Help me out, man.
Acknowledge me, please.
Come on, man. I'm here putting in this work for y'all, man. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And share this video if you have not done so already. We greatly appreciate it. I'm doing my best to catch up to all these chats, y'all. Doing my best. Elder says, I'd go after Allen over Mitchell. So, I'm assuming Jared Allen, what's he, like 20 something a year? Elder, I don't know if I want to spend that much on another big. We got so many other holes. I don't know if we need a $20 million big. I think someone like Jared might not be bad. But that's a lot of money when you got other holes. You're probably if you move on for dealer, you're gonna need another shooter. You're gonna need potentially another 3-knee wing, a point of attack defender. While in a vacuum, I get that. I just don't know if I'm spending 20 mil on Allen when we got so many other holes here. Jeff, which role players should the Lakers prioritize in signing this offseason? Got to see who's available. You got players with team options. You got players with player options. Like I said, man, if Bruce Brown becomes available, the Lakers have been trying to get him for a minute now. So, someone like that. I know a lot of people were talking about the Brooklyn big. I think he's going to get paid. I think he's out of there. I know people talked about Tyus Jones. He's going to get paid. I don't think he's in there. You're going to see. I want to wait and see what options happen. I want to see what big time trades happen and guys get moved and bought out or released or rerouted. Like, I've got to see how that plays out first, because I genuinely don't know yet. Like, it's too early to really tell because we don't know for sure who is available. That's going to materialize and present itself sooner. rather than later. But it's too early to know for sure. Because like right now, Christian Wood opted in, but we still don't know what Cam and Jackson Hayes are going to do. That's taking up 2 roster spots. So if Cam and Jackson Hayes opt in, they're probably as good as traded, right? I heard that Christian Wood may even be moved. So if that happens and they get rid of those 3 slots, okay, now you got 3 more. Now the Lakers can carry, I believe, as much as 21 guys, well in the training camp. Then you got to trim down on them. So they can add to the roster. They say even though they got Hayes and Reddish, if they opt in, like they could still add people and figure that out later. But at the end of the day, it's too hard to know for sure who and what is available yet, because business has to happen first. And until that does, we don't really know yet. We just don't know yet. What's up, Bloodhound? Lakers are a large market team operating like a small market team. Well, I mean, I want to say small market because they're in the tax. They're in the repeater tax. So they're not, it's not like they're afraid to spend the money. Sometimes it's just, are they spending it wisely is kind of my take on it. Chris says, thank you, Jeff. Tell the people to read your Substack. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm telling you, it's a good article, man. Check that out. Darvin Hab could prepare, just not good at in-game adjustments. Yeah, his in-game handling of things was definitely something that looked like a second-year head coach. Like, but again, like for me, I didn't expect the world from him because he is a second-year head coach. Probably wasn't the right guy to begin with. That's a rough situation for a rookie head coach to be thrown into. Like someone like Darvin, someone like like a Luke Walton. Like I believe that if you're gonna get a rookie head coach, sometimes those guys have been in the league as an assistant for 10, 12, whatever years. I just think those guys missed their shot. That's just me. Like I feel like they missed their shot. You might want to just get someone like the JJ, like the Steve Kerrs, like those guys who haven't been like, I don't want to use the word poison, but haven't been like just brainwashed by a mentor. You know what I mean? Sometimes those guys, like that type of inexperience, sometimes is better than 12 years of mixed experience. It really is. Like you ever see some, like some of you guys might see this at your job. Like sometimes I've seen people who have worked and done something in a role for 10, 12, 13 years, right? And, they're just stuck in their ways. They don't like change. They don't like any of that. They kind of just want to do what they've been taught on the come up, and that's it. Then I've hired people that came in like fresh out of college or didn't even go to college, and they just come in killing dudes that have been doing this for 10, 12 years because they're made for it. And they're just coming and gunning, right? And I've seen that so many times. And sometimes that guy that doesn't have any of the actual on-job experience, but has been preparing for it their whole life, comes in and kills it. And sometimes it just be that way. What's up, Gregory Brown? I'm not one of the ones will bash someone before I try it, but I believe he will be a good coach. Most of these dudes don't like Lakers, mostly Bron, so I can't take none of you serious. Yeah, so that's another thing. So you make a good point there, Gregory Brown. Like you've got. Hold on, 1 second. Sorry about that. You've got you definitely got the different bases in here, right? You've got like Team LeBron. You've got anti-LeBron. You got Laker first people, which that's where I'm at. You've got the player stands. You got the team stands, because let's not act like there aren't team stands who are just blindly loyal to a team and don't want to face reality, versus being a fan and being able to talk about the truth, right? There are all these different chapters in every fan base. So me, I'm a Laker fan, right? And I got no problem telling them my team is annoying me when they annoy me. I got no problem telling you I'm proud of them. They make me proud. I keep it a buck here. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're right. There are fractions and portions and little cliques within this fan base, little sub communities who have other agendas. Player fans, team stands, like all these different things, right? Stands of other era. You know what I mean? So you got all these different pockets, and they're all loud. They're all very loud. And you get a bunch of like bickering and arguing and loud conversation. Hell, I'm loud. You know what I mean? Like this is all like, it's all kind of just out there as noise. And that's why I try to tell y'all, like, just tune out the noise. I always tune out the noise. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. I'll poke some fun at it. I'll have some fun with it. I can clown around with it. But at the end of the day, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like when I press end stream, I'm out of here. Like I don't even think about it. You know what I mean? This ain't my life. This is something I do for fun. So you got a lot of people who just take this so seriously and get so angry over takes, and you hit it on the head there. So you got people are so committed to a player that they just can't see nothing else. Like me, I love my Lakers. But when there's no game on and there's no crazy news and I'm not doing this, man, I'm focused on family. I'm focused on my money. I'm focused on my future. But some people just can't separate it, right? And that's where you get a lot of this craziness. That's where you get all the craziness, and it spills into a lot of things. We don't know yet, Tyrone. What's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I think Sam Cassell has a chance. We're going to have to wait and see. No fan should DM me about depth until they read your Substack. I respect everyone's opinion. Appreciate you, Chris. They should read that Substack. They should. I must admit, Bron has turned Lakers into a clown show. I can't wait for him to leave. Gregory, again, there's a lot of people who feel that way. There's a lot of people who don't feel that way. I'm in the middle. I'm not a Bron stan. I'm not a Bron hater. I'm a Laker fan. But there is a level of exhaustion. There is an era of franchise fatigue that comes along when you have LeBron James. That's a known fact. Cleveland had to face it the first time. Miami faced it. Cleveland again. And now the Lakers. And the fact that Bron, this is going to be the longest stretch that Bron has been with the franchise outside his first stint with Cleveland, and he may pass that. So he just completed his 6th year as a Laker. Now, if he stays for 2 more years, he would have been here as long as Shaq was, and I believe he was only in Miami for 7 years. Cleveland the first time for 7 years. So while he may have played for Cleveland for 11 years? I'm just off the top of my head, whether it's 10, 11, 12, whatever it is, but I think it's 11. I think it was 7 the first time, 4 the second time. So if I'm right, that's 11 years total with the franchise. But the longest stretch he ever stayed with them was 7 years. That was the first time around. If he ends up staying for 2 more seasons, the Lakers would be his longest stretch on a franchise. So that franchise or organizational fatigue, the Lakers would have had that the longest. And I don't think people are recognizing that. That's an important little thing to remember, because organizational fatigue, and that's not meant to be a shot or a diss at Bron. It's not. But when you have LeBron James, you have to be all in constantly. Not just all in, but you're all in on your side. You're all in the headlines. You're all in on the shows. Like you are everywhere. Every move you make or don't make is plastered everywhere. Everywhere. So if he ends up staying with the Lakers 2 more years, then again, that's as long as Shaq was here. That's his entire Laker career was 8 years. 96 to 2004. And if he stays here 8 years, that is his longest stretch with the team in one stint for LeBron James. And it will be as a Los Angeles Laker. So you got to think about that. A lot of people don't think about that. But I got you. I got you. I'm not drafting Bronny at 17. I don't think they are either. I don't think they should. Jeff, why do D-Lo stands want D-Lo to stay so bad? A lot of them fans don't want him back, but they be begging. So typically you got guys that are like who'll big up or stand up for D-Lo because they don't like Bron, or you got guys who will push for D-Lo because they don't like Reeves, or like I tell you, there's so many different weird pockets in here, right? Or you got people who genuinely like D-Lo and feel like he's getting bullied. I've heard so many different variations of this. So my thing is, I like D-Lo. I think he's a solid player. He's not a third option. He's not a star. He's not an all-star level, perennial all-star level player. He's not any of that. Maybe the lights are too big for D-Lo. You know what I mean? I think, get D-Lo somewhere else. I wish him well. I hope him and his family can get paid. But my days of hoping that D-Lo can become our third best player are over. They're over. Am I saying get him out of here at all costs? I'm not there. Because if you get to keep him again on that opt-in at 18 mil, I don't think that's terrible. But I think we need to improve that position. But I also understand that him dipping for nothing is something that can hurt us. So they've got They need to do something with him, whether it's him opting in, whether it's him coming back and they look to move him later, whatever it is, they need to look to get something for him if they choose, or he chooses, if they choose to move on from each other. They need to figure that out. And they may already have. This is going to get announced today or game 1 Tuesday night. I don't know if it'll be Tuesday. I don't think the Lakers will interrupt the beginning or end of the finals. I think if it does come out, it'll be in the middle. And I think it'll kind of get leaked that it's happening. And I think it'll officially be announced once the finals are over. I could be wrong, but I think the Lakers will definitely take advantage of having their brand being the talk of the finals with the Celtics there. I think they would, try to overshadow that a little bit. Not that they can overshadow a team in the finals, but I think they'll try to disturb it a little bit, kind of take away a little bit of that coverage. And there's definitely a possibility there. Is DeJounte Murray still a real trade target? I believe so. That remains to be seen if it's a realistic trade target, but I think it's still a target. So I'd much rather go for a third star over depth. Gregory said, my guess, coaching staff, Scott Brooks, James Borrego, Rondo, Tim Legler. Tim Legler is such a great basketball mind. I don't know. I see his name kind of make the rounds, but has he been linked or been a guy that has showed any real interest in that? I'm not sure. I said agreed. I'm late here, so I'm not entirely sure what you guys are agreeing me on, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Elder says the team that builds a culture and are successful have 2 stars max. 3 stars doesn't work. Yeah, and I want to be careful again and reiterate that I'm not necessarily referring to a third star. I want a legitimate third option. Now, people label guys stars who are not stars. DeJounte Murray is not a star to me. He's not. I think he has a chance to be a very good third option, but he is not a star. Donovan Mitchell is a very, very good basketball player. But to me, he is not an all-NBA 1 or 2 team guy yet. Perennially. Perennially. He's not. But he's a guy that can get buckets. He's a guy that can score. He's a guy that can put up huge numbers, and maybe he does become that perennial guy. But to me, again, he's an all-star level player, which is not bad as a third option. He's not at supermax level. He's not at crazy dollar level. So someone like like I said, the range between DeJounte Murray, I'm talking salary first of all, the range between DeJounte Murray and Donovan Mitchell would be the ideal range money-wise. But DeJounte Murray I don't see as a star player. I look at him as a very potentially legitimate third option. And that's just how I look at it. Like a Lauri Markkanen. I don't look at as like he's had a great 2 years. But I don't look at Lauri Markkanen as if you get this guy, that you have a chance to go deep in the playoffs. Lauri Markkanen is a guy that could be one hell of a third option. Now, I don't think the Lakers are going to get him, but what I'm saying is like these type of guys as your third option, that's what you need. Like you can't, not a Kevin Durant, Kyrie, James Harden, not James Harden, Kawhi, Paul George. Because while these guys may not be what they were, they still think they are. And they're getting paid like they are. So, like I said, my thing, I'm going to really, really try to remove the word star from my vocabulary. So if you guys hear me say star, check me. Check me. Because I want a third option. We don't have one. I'm not even convinced that we have a fourth option. We need a third option. That's what we should be looking for. Tyrone says, I'm all in for DeJounte Murray and Saddiq Bey. I wouldn't mind. Saddiq Bey, I believe, tore his ACL, so he's out most of next season. You're right, Jeff. Third option is the right word. Let's see. Elder says, Grant, Kuzma, Murray, or your guys if you want a non-max guy. So Grant, if you're talking about Jeremy Grant, okay, yeah, so that's not bad. That's about 30 million a year. We're on the same page there. Kuzma, money-wise, on the same page there. Murray, yeah, we're on the same page. This I agree with. And these guys are not stars. They're not stars. They are non-max, potentially third option guys. I 100% agree with those. Do you think 2020 was a fluke? I do not. I do not believe it was a fluke. What about Tobias Harris? Well, Tobias is going to be an interesting one because I don't know what his market is going to be. If Tobias does not have a market, him as a mid-level I don't know if he'll take a minimum, but him to replace a Rui, if we move Rui, I wouldn't hate. But depending on what the money like, I don't know what his offers are going to be like. I don't know. But someone like that, him as a Rui replacement, if we do move Rui, I would not hate. I just don't know what the mathematics would be as far as what his market is going to be. Great House is King. What's going on, my guy? What do you think of Jalen Suggs if D-Lo chooses to go to the Magic, which the rumors are coming out? Jalen Suggs is a type of defender that I would love to have. He is that point of attack guy that we have needed on this team. You know, he's younger. I wouldn't hate that. But then we need shooting. If we're getting rid of D-Lo for a point of attack defender, then we have to replace D-Lo's shooting. And that's been my concern about overspending on another big, is because you have to fill in other holes around that. Hey, Tamika, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good night. Thank you for tuning in. No on Tobias. Okay. So, like I said, my thinking on Tobias is, like I said, if we can get him as kind of a Rui replacement, I wouldn't hate it, but it'd have to be for damn near. He'd have to fall into our lap, kind of like a Christian Wood situation. I don't think you can go wrong with getting Tobias Harris at the minimum. I just don't know if there's a world we live in where he's going to take the minimum or get the minimum. Elder says, this bus crew can't pay for nothing. Rubber checks. Depth work in 2020. Yeah, depth definitely worked. And again, I'm typically the guy that says, go get me depth. But our depth outside of 2020 just hasn't worked. They haven't showed up. They've been hurt. And like I said, that 2020, the championship, definitely not a fluke. But being able to get a roster like that together in today's NBA, like I said, you got to think of a lot of things that happen there. You got a buyout guy that actually contribute to a chip. That never happens. You got Markieff Morris, right? You never see a buyout guy making an impact like that. We did. Dwight fell in our lap, right? When DeMarcus Cousins got hurt. You got him on the minimum. Okay. These things like aren't really going to happen again, right? You had Rondo on a minimum that year. Like, these are things that have to line up so perfectly, and it's very hard to pull off. So while that championship, no way, shape, or form was a fluke, the Lakers being able to get that roster together was so impressive, and really, really hard to accomplish again. Lonnie Walker back. I like Lonnie, but I don't think Lonnie is the savior that a lot of Laker fans think. I think Lonnie can hoop. He can score at times. Doesn't really give you a lot of anything else. I wouldn't mind him on the team, but he's not a guy you're going to plug in and be that starter you count on deep into the playoffs. I just don't think that's going to happen. Let's see. Lakers don't get capped if they sign and trade D-Lo. The team receiving him will be capped. Yeah. They get capped they will be capped at the second apron if they do a sign and trade out. They get capped at the first apron if they do sign and trade in. They also can be capped on sending D-Lo out if the percentages of what they take back are higher than what they're sending out. There are different layers within the CBA that hit different levels of cap. So you have to be careful. It's not just cut and dry. There are truths to it, but there's also some layers in there that can also make it untrue when it comes to the sign and trade portions. Let's see. Bruce Brown would be nice. Yeah, Bruce Brown. He's a guy that I've wanted on this team for a while. I just think he adds an element to this team. He's another dog. He's another veteran. These are things we needed last year. Now, he's not the greatest shooter. He can't shoot like D-Lo. But we've seen what he can do on a team that goes on a deep playoff run. And like I said, we need more dogs on this team. Why does it cap the Lakers at the second level? Because that's a new CBA. If you send out a sign and trade, you get capped at the second apron. Now, the Lakers are going to be theoretically capping themselves at the second apron anyways. They're not going to go above it. But if you sign and trade out, you do get capped at the second apron. Let's see. Lakers, LA for life. What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I don't think anyone hates JJ. I think everyone is just kind of just over the rookie head coach thing. So I get it. They need to see it work before they trust it. And that's respectable. I understand it. Most definitely hit that like button, man, if y'all ain't done so already. Where we at with the likes up in here? We got over 90 people in the building right now. Only 38 likes. Ron, talk to the people, man.
Acknowledge me, please.
Come on, man. Over 90 people in the building right now and only 38 likes. I ain't the type to stop the show, but come on, man. Help your boy out. The likes are free, man. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Like I said, 30% of the people here every single night have yet to subscribe to the channel. So go on, don't be that guy or girl, woman or man. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Drop a like on the video. Like I said, man, Can't have this many people in the room with that little of likes, man. We up to 40 now. All right, let's try to get this up to at least 50 likes, man. Drop a like on the video. Come on, man. Help your boy out. Help your boy out. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. And while we waiting on this, let's go ahead and let me see here. Let's go and hit y'all with some reminders here of Court Kings, y'all. So make sure to pull up the shop courtkings.com, man. Lakers Nation, stand up, man. You got the You Not Like Us here. You got Magic, you got Kobe, you got Bron. Chris, the graphic guy, putting that incredible work over here with these graphics again, as usual, man. Incredible items over there on shopcourtkings.com. Now, Laker fans, I'm going to challenge y'all, man. We got people from Dallas, man. The We Talk Mavs crew riding heavy on the site, supporting their teams right now, man. Just supporting their Dallas Mavericks on their run to the finals. And I get it. They're in the playoffs. There's excitement. But Laker fans, man, we rock that purple and gold year-round 24/7, 365. So go and shop online at www.shopcourtkings.com. Get your Laker gear. Get your Dodger gear. Got plenty of other players. Plenty of other items on the site, man. Fire work by the graphic god over there, man. Plenty of stuff over there, man. We got the Chick Hearn and Kobe Bryant shirt here, man. The details on these shirts are absolutely incredible. So make sure to pull up again, once again, shopcourtkings.com and check out this incredible work. We got over there the Kobe 81 shirt over there, man. Make sure to pull up over there. And remember, man, we got the announcement we dropped, man. EPJ Sports Night, the nightly sports talk show, call-in show, coverage of all sports, coming soon, man. Coming very, very, very soon, maybe as early as game 1 of the NBA Finals. So make sure to stay tuned. EPJ Sports Night, man. I think you guys are going to like it. I got another segment that's coming soon, too. I think you guys are going to take a liking to, but this one's going to be first. And like I said, make sure to pull up and go take some calls. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to operate like a radio show meets Sports Center type of situation. So I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So make sure, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications to be notified when we do go live nights such as tonight, man. Tina, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. Says, hi, Jeff. People out here think that J Bus is cheap when there are cap rules. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not, I've said that. I've defended that. Like, they've paid tax. They've paid repeater tax. I don't think that the Lakers are cheap. I just think they have to be wiser with their money because they can't afford the mistakes like other teams can. They can't just buy their way out of it like a lot of these other teams do. So, yeah, I don't necessarily believe they are cheap. I think that they may be a little cheap with their resources, their front office, their scouting department, their assistant coaches, the head coach, stuff like that. But when it comes to the roster and the salary and the CBA, I don't believe they're cheap when it comes to players. I believe that they need to invest a little bit more in their resources because, like I said, they have the smallest front office in the league. I think that can be problematic. But yeah, outside of that, I agree with you. I'm not going to sit there and label them necessarily cheap when it comes to spending on the roster, but I think they do need to invest in more resources. I do believe that to be true. Lakers should go after Josh Richardson. He wouldn't be a bad guy, especially at the minimum. Lonnie Walker and cheaper shooter. Lonnie Walker off the bench, I would not hate, but I just want to caution you guys. For everyone who's sitting up here saying, acting like Lonnie Walker is going to be our savior in the starting lineup, then you guys are going to be screaming at Lonnie soon too. That's not the case. Jeff, what's harder to get in the offseason, a good wing or a good center? You know what? I'm going to say center because those are fewer and far between, and those that have them want to hold on to them because of the Joel Embiids, because of the Jokers, because of Minnesota, because of AD even. Like teams with solid centers, especially centers that are cheap. That's why everyone kept saying Nick Richards. I'm like, why would Charlotte move him unless they just got a haul for him? A guy with his ability at $5 million a year, that young, you'd be foolish to get rid of him because you can't replace his production at that cost. If someone offered you a first, then they probably got to do it. But teams coming in with a second, they're like, why are we going to do that? Like, we don't need to do that. So that's a prime example. So bigs like Gafford moved for a first round pick. Like I said, the Dallas went out and got a first round pick for Gafford. They gave up a first round pick for PJ Washington. Lakers didn't have those picks. So now granted, neither did Dallas at first. They had to go get them. But what I'm saying is, like, these guys got moved for first, right? So it's going to be interesting to see this offseason what price tag these guys are going for. And what bigs potentially do become available. But I think that a big may be tougher to get than a wing. There's a lot more wings in the league than quality centers. So just off pure mathematics, I think of pure options, I think that's what it'll be. I think a big is going to be harder to get than a wing. That's just my opinion, man. Man, Malik Monk is a beast. Yeah, Monk is great, but the Lakers aren't getting him. I think Monk will get Monk. I think Monk's gonna get somewhere between $70 to $100 million, yo. Like, I think Monk is going to get paid. Maybe probably closer to 70 than 100. But I think if there's a bidding war, I could see that getting crazy. I could see him getting 25 a year. You know what I mean? I could see it happen. I could see it happening. He's gonna get paid. I don't necessarily think it's gonna be in Sacramento. And I'm telling you right now, y'all need to pray that he don't go to OKC, man. JJ doesn't have experience. It could be bad or good. Ham had coaching experience, and he was bad. It's a crapshoot. The expectations are high because it's LA. And yeah, like I said, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, I've seen so many times, just in a lot of different areas of life, where just because someone has experience or seniority or things like that, it don't make them the best at the job. It just does not. It does not. I know plenty of YouTubers, man, that could step into any of these radio stations and be 10 times better than what they got on the air right now. That's a fact, right? So at the end of the day, like, just because someone has done something, had the experience, doesn't always translate that it's going to work when they actually get the keys to the car. There are certain people that are natural born leaders and natural born to do that gig or to do that position or be that alpha. There are people who are naturally born to do it, right? And there's people who strive for it and try to be it and just never reach it. So there's a difference, right? JJ may just be one of those guys that is meant to be it. We just don't know. We don't know. I don't know. Yo, what's going on, Satcho? Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for tuning in, man. No hold barred. What's going on? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Empire Jeff, why do you think they didn't consider someone like D-Fish since they like to keep it in the family? I see with the vertical screen. Yeah, a majority of my people watch on mobile, so a lot of people asking for it. So I'm sticking with it for right now. I'll go back and forth. I'll go between portrait and landscape, but right now I'm rocking a mobile one. But yeah, appreciate you. D-Fish is coaching high school right now. He's coaching Matt Barnes' kids, which is his wife's kids over there at Crespi High School out here just outside of LA. So and Fish didn't have a very good coaching tenure in New York or with the Sparks. I'm not too sure he's gonna get another high-level coaching gig again. I could be wrong. I'm not bashing Fish. I'm just saying, like, he kind of crashed and burned in both scenarios. So I don't see it right now. Tina said, these new cap rules aren't easy to work with. Oh, facts. Players make a lot of money, and that limits what you can do under the rules. Facts. The Lakers front office is garbage. No wonder they want to hire JJ. The Lakers front office has made some mistakes. They've made some decent moves and good moves, but they've also made mistakes. Before I'm willing to call them trash, I need to see what they do this summer. Like, they got us a chip. They had a great 2019 offseason. 2021, they just got hurt. But outside of that, it's been a tough run. They got into the Russ deal. They got out of the Russ deal. With that being said, this summer is extremely important to them for sure. Chris says, you're right, Jeff. That's why, as a designer, I never lost. Facts. Let me see people talking to each other. I'm in the middle too. Yeah, I mean, I kind of live typically. You guys know me. I never really get too high, never really get too low. I try to take it all in, see both sides of the story. You know what I mean? Hear both sides of the story, form my own opinion. I don't run with a crowd. You know what I mean? I don't run with a mob. If I like something, I like something. If I don't, I don't. If I agree, I agree. If I don't, I don't. It's that simple to me. It's that simple, So for me, while JJ, like I said, I don't know if he'd be my choice, but like I said, when you look around at the pool of coaches out there, there really isn't one. There just isn't one. There isn't anything to be excited about when it comes to this pool. It just really isn't. So when you consider that, like I said numerous times, he has the risk factor that every other coach out there does. He has the same floor level. But I do 100% believe that his ceiling is higher than the other candidates. Doesn't mean he can't, fail in amazing fashion. But it also, I could see some potential for it to get crazy there for sure. Let's see. I'm a LeBron hater because 31. There's a lot of Bron haters out there. I'm not a Bron hater, man. I'm not a Bron stan. I'm not a Bron hater. I think that's a safe place to be. No Hobart says, salute Empire Jeff. Why do you think they didn't consider someone like D-Fish? Okay, gotcha. Like I answered that one already. Let's see. KD, what's going on, my guy? Jeff, what it do? What we talking about over here? Talk about JJ, talking about the Lakers, talk about all kinds of stuff in here, man. All kinds of stuff. Yep, it is what it is. Expectations are high in LA. Consistently achieving isn't easy to achieve. It's not. It's hard out here, man. It's hard out here. I highly doubt they would get a third star. I think they're going to go to try to get a third option. Like I said, the depth isn't working. Lights are too bright. I do agree that the depth has not worked yet in a while. I don't think they should trade all the picks, but I think they should consider acquiring him. Like I said, if you can get him, I don't think they can get him for one pick. I think that'd be unreasonable. But if you can get him like 2 picks and one of them lightly protected, I think I'd do that. He's better than anyone we have with that third option right now. And, he's young enough. His contract isn't crazy. There's a lot of pros to it, man. There's a lot of pros to it. Dante, what's up, my guy? He said, I wonder if Jeff is live. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you for tuning in, Dante, man. Hope you're having a good one, bro. Jeff, I'm designing a court team t-shirt that says third option, not a third superstar. That's what it is, man. I'm telling you, like, I don't like the word star because people throw it around like candy. They throw it around like candy and people need to chill. Laurie fills a role with the team. He isn't a star, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't think we need a star. I think we need a reliable, legitimate number 3 player. The word star and superstar is overused. Facts. Kuz, I'll take. I wouldn't mind Kuz, but in the right deal. Kuzma, Tina says Grant makes far too much money, in my opinion. Grant makes $30 million, so he's not in a range of anything I'd hate, especially with the cap going up. So $30 million, that would basically be you'd be moving Rui and Reeves, something like that, money-wise. Not terrible. He can't really guard the position as well as I would hope, but he's definitely a guy who can help you get buckets. But at $30 million, that deal is not as terrible as it was last summer, especially with the cap going up. Swish Flames podcast. What's going on? Thank you for tuning in and appreciate you. Grant, not a winning basketball player. He'd rather score a lot of points on a bad team. I think that's kind of the knock on him, but when the Denver Nuggets went to the Western Conference Finals in 2020, he was a very key contributor to that. Now, I think you have to take a look at what Grant did after that scenario. He left Denver to get his first bag, and he wanted to play on that to secure the second bag. And a lot of players do that. And now that he got that second bag, I think his mentality and his goals are going to change a little bit now. I think maybe now he would like to play within a winning culture or be part of a team that could potentially win, because now he's got his security. So these type of things change over time when it comes to these players. So when he left Denver to go to Detroit to get the money, pretty much the same money that Denver offered, but he wanted a bigger role because he wanted to carve out a name for himself. He did that in Detroit, then got moved, and then played well again and got that second bag. I think he's to a point now to where he wouldn't mind going to play with other guys to try to accomplish something team perspective now that he secured his bag. Dante says, I want LeVert as a bench guy with Reeves, not gonna lie. LeVert, I've always liked LeVert. Can't seem to stay healthy though, but hopefully whether he's a Laker or not, hopefully he's able to stay healthy. But LeVert has been a guy I've liked for a while. Big baby, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Make sure to pull up over on Big Baby Sports, man. Subscribe to the channel over there, man. He does good work over there. Appreciate you, brother. And exactly. Drop a like on the video, like Big Baby says. Where we at the like count, man? Y'all was tripping on me earlier, man. 41 likes. Again, 90 people in the building, 41 likes. Come on, y'all. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, man. We greatly appreciate it. Now back to business here. LeVert is nice. Facts. Lakers front office is worthy of a bag of chips. Coming for him, huh? I hear you, Jeff, but Ish lined up 7 times for us. It can't and will happen. Can and will happen again. Siren Sam. No, I hear you, man. I hear you for sure. Jojo, what's going on? Appreciate you pulling up. Lonnie and Malik Monk were kind of the same player and microwave off the bench, but the Lakers need another big, some more youth, but not rookie youth. Bruce Brown would be great. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Monk is way better than Lonnie, but it's similar. Yeah, similar player. Just Monk is Lonnie Walker on steroids. But yeah, they do need a big, little bit more youth that they're going to play. And Bruce Brown would be great. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Good take. Court King Chris says a small thank you to Kawhi Leonard for 2020 roster. Yeah, real talk. At least JJ and LeBron have a relationship going into it. It won't be getting to know each other. That already happened. I don't know. Maybe it works. And that's another thing. This may be the first time in LeBron James' tenure that he goes into it actually respecting the coach going into the training camp and into that locker room. I don't think we've seen that before. So that's a good point. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Love the show. What's going on, man? Top of the evening, chat. Empire Jeff. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. That's right. Court Kings. Dallas Mavericks in 6. Woo, spicy take there, right? Look, that wouldn't surprise me. I think I got Boston as a favorite right now, especially that news coming out. Porzingis going to play in game 1. Got to see how he looks, though. But it would not surprise me if Dallas pulls this off. It wouldn't. I think this series is going to be more competitive than people think. And shout out to our peoples over at We Talk Mavs, man. Shout out to Rel, shout out to King, man. Like I said, they killing up there, man. The We Talk Mavs fans are representing the world. ShopCourtKings.com, man. Appreciate y'all. Tina says most of the candidates the Lakers are looking at haven't been a head coach, or they're basically would be rookies. Yeah, or they didn't really find a lot of success elsewhere. Now I don't think that Borrego got a fair shake in Charlotte, but even outside of that, like I said, is he a game changer? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? So Switch Lanes podcast says Pelinka job should be tied to this coaching hire. 3 strikes and you're out if you don't work. I think that's fair. Richard says, thought if you were able to trade with D-Lo without pick 17, replacing him with Jared McCain, one of the best 3-point shooters in the draft, is a dog effort-wise. Yeah, but I don't think the Lakers are looking to replace D-Lo in the starting lineup with a rookie. I get what you're saying, but I think they need a veteran in that role right now. I can't wait either, Chris, man. I'm excited, man. EPJ Sports Night coming soon, y'all. Coming soon. Yeah, man. Another show, too. Another show. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun summer, man. It's going to be nightly. And, I'll be on most of the time, but there'll be other people on too. Maybe even when I'm not on. So I'm gonna get you a lot of content this summer, man. La. Shout out to Road, man. They just blessed your boy with some more equipment today. I didn't get a chance to post it, but I will. Shout out to Road. Telling you, man, I got blessed from a previous show I used to do. It was a hip hop show. Shout out to Easy Money. I've been getting blessed by Road ever since. Apparently they like the way I sound on their equipment. So shout out to Road, man. They sent me some more equipment today, and can't wait to use it. This product is dope. I'll post it on my socials later. But man, shout out to Road. But it's gonna open some of the things that I've got from them over the course of the last few months. Really being able to do like a mobile wireless solution and be able to do content from anywhere. So really get out of my home studio and go out and do some stuff. So shout out to Road, man. Greatly appreciate y'all, man. Dan Inspiration says, get Kuzma back. Potential, but we'll see. We've got to see what that deal looks like. JJ will do good. Trust. What's going on, Fo? Look, I think he has potential, man. I do. I think he has potential. He has potential to be big. He has potential to be terrible. That's the thing. That's what potential is. Potential ain't nothing until you achieve it, till you reach it. I think Genie should sell the team to Jeff Bezos and overprice it to the tone of $50 billion. Bezos can afford that for sure. I think I wish she would sell it to the Guggenheim Group, man, but they're not going to sell, man. They're not going to sell. Would you be shocked if the roster is the same for next year? Yeah, but it's not going to be the same for next year. I'm not saying, I don't know if it's going to be drastically different, but the same player, it will not be the identical roster. That's not going to happen. I think Jordan Clarkson is very comparable to Malik Monk. He's a chucker, yeah, but Malik Monk is a better player than Jordan Clarkson. Let's see. Mind my business. We needed a center like Derek Lively. We absolutely did, but he got drafted before we were able to get him. So for sure, a lot of teams could use a guy like Derek Lively for sure, man. What's your guilty pleasure? What's going on, Shan? My guilty pleasure, probably YouTube at this point. You know what I mean? Get out here and kick it with you guys and talk. I'm guilty pleasure, man. That's a long list, bro. I got a lot of guilty pleasures. Shan says, Laurie is a guy the team needs. Anyone who says meh does not watch him or release how special he is. I like Laurie. He may be a little too expensive. And I don't even know if Utah's even looking to move him, to be honest. I like Laurie. I think marketing it would be a phenomenal third guy. And down the future, an even bigger piece. But I don't think it's realistic. Wouldn't mind it if it happened, but as of right now, I don't think it's realistic. My dream lineup is Caruso, Reeves, Bron, Laurie, AD, Caruso at the point, Reeves at the 2. So you got the all white backcourt, defense, offense. Just I don't like Bron at the 3 anymore, but it's not bad. Yeah, not bad. Don't know if they have the means to get all that, because it would probably, even if Utah considered moving marketing, it would take all 3 picks and it wouldn't leave much to get Caruso. Let's see. Can't get Laurie without Reeves, and that may not be enough. OKC would be bidding for him as well. Yeah, facts. Just watch and just see some people. No, I don't, like I said, I don't think marketing's a realistic option. I would love it to be. I just don't think the Lakers have enough to get it done. Hailey Ford, what's going on, Hailey? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. It's definitely a risk hiring JJ, but it could turn out to be a home run. Yep. As a Laker fan, I'll support the decision and hope it all works out. It's very important that he gets an experienced staff. Bang. Pretty much saying the same thing I'm saying. So there you go. We're on the same page. Get out of my head, Hailey Ford. Man, perfect take. Perfect take. Wait, D Fish and Matt Barnes are cool now? Yeah, they cool now. They cool. I've seen them at games together. They cool. I mean, it took some time, but yeah, they cool. I mean, he's kind of, his kids are in his house. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to get over it, right? Move on for the best of the kids, and he's coaching his kids at Crespi right now. Pat says, Jeff, Jeff, did not hear you talk about Levine. Maybe I was off the stream, but were you in on Zach? I hadn't done a stream on it because I feel like I've been talking about that for a while, and that's a hard no for me. It's nothing against Zach Levine. It's just his money would tie up too much of the team to where they could really improve around them. And you got Bron, AD, and Levine as your three main guys who have sketchy injury history. Bron since he became a Laker, AD, and then Levine. So I'll pass on that. Too much money and too much time left on that deal. And would really, really handcuff the Lakers for the next season or two doing a deal like that. Steven, what's going on, man? Rui and Vanda would work money-wise for Grant, and at first, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't believe that will work. So I think Rui's about, I got to look at 18, Vanda about 10. So 28. So you can't, because of where they're at, you can't take back. You got to pretty much take back identical or less money to avoid hard capping yourself. So they could throw in a minimum guy, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. I agree with you there. Shan says Kuz and Spence took L's. They both could have been on the Mavs, who in the finals now. So Kuz needs to be Aaron Gordon, PJ Washington type player as a starter. Yeah, it's a good take. Yeah, he did fumble that. But then again, you can't. It's hard to play the hypothetical because it would have been Kuz or Gafford. Does Kuz have that impact that Gafford's had on them? Maybe not. So it's not like Kuz would have been there with Gafford and PJ. It would have been Gafford or Kuz. You could argue that Dallas made the right move by not getting Kuz and getting Gafford. Let's see. I can see why Caitlin Clark's teammates don't try to defend her and scrap because they lose money. It's hard as hell for them to make a dime. They got to count every penny. Yeah, I get it. They're forcing the WNBA on us like crazy right now. No shade to the WNBA or the women who play that sport. It just feels forced right now. And it's just everywhere you look, you got people talking about I don't talk about it because I don't watch the games. And there's a lot of people talking about don't watch the games either. You know what I mean? But I know I don't watch the games, and I'm not gonna be out here trying to front on y'all. I don't watch. So, and it's no disrespect. I just don't have the time. So I didn't even have time to watch college basketball this year. So I'm not gonna be out here trying to have uneducated conversations about things I know nothing about. However, outside of that, I've seen clips, I've seen things, but it's a very, very unique topic because the people on both sides of the fence, me, as with usual, I'm in the middle. I understand, and in a way, she's kind of being hated on and almost bullied, but a lot of rookies get bullied in all levels of sport. Some get hated on. And I understand the other side of people who have been there, putting the work, doing everything they can to build the league and feeling some type of way about it. It's okay to feel about it, but to take action on it, sometimes people go too far. I think there's both a mix of jealousy, hate, underappreciation, stupidity. They say Caitlin is a major trash talker, which I personally don't have a problem with. But maybe read the room. If the situation is volatile already, but maybe that's just the way she plays. Maybe she can't play her way without it. When a lot of these things are just kind of leading to what it is. I think it'll smooth out over time. I think those who hate her and are jealous of her, who dislike her, I think will learn the value of what she's bringing for them and people moving forward. I think maybe she'll learn that this is just a rough patch and we'll get past it. But outside of that, like, I don't watch the games. I've seen press conferences, I've seen clips, but I've seen, like, I've coached girls teams, both in basketball and softball. It is very different than coaching a men's team. Not just in almost every aspect of the game. The way the game is played, the physical abilities, the physical style, personalities, emotions. It's night and day. It's the same game called basketball, yes. Excuse me. It's the same sport called basketball, but it is nowhere near the same game. And that's, again, no disrespect or no shade. What I'm saying is it just is what it is. It's different, right? And that's okay. That's okay. So having been on both sides of that block, coaching both women and men's teams, and I've even had girls on my men's team, like, it is a different world. And there's some things that go on, like, coaching women's sports. It's an adjustment. It is different. And I think people are trying to look at it like they would the NBA, and you can't do that. You just can't do that. It's just not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And I don't mean that in any, like I said, I want to reiterate, I'm not watching these games. I don't have a very informed opinion of what's happening on the court. All I've seen is clips and press conferences. But because I've had history in coaching girls basketball and girls sports, I'm speaking to my experience. But outside of that, hopefully it all levels out. Hopefully they all make a lot of money. Hopefully it leads to great success for them. And hopefully I'll be able to find some time to watch it. I haven't had time. So I don't have any intel on what actually happens in these games. I just see what's being forced on us, the coverage of it. You know what I mean? I think the upcoming season, Jeff, is where Rob and the front office has to get it right. This is where the rubber going to meet the road. Don't you think? Purple and gold, I do agree with you. I think that's exactly where it is. And I think they got to get this right. They got to get it right. The Lakers need two-way players. It's the only way to get another chip, but hard to find them. Yeah. Big Baby says, what about DeMar DeRozan and stay away from Levine? I don't think they're getting either. Shan says, the worst player in the NBA will cook anyone in the open gym. Oh, facts. I say that all the time. The people who people will bash, call them trash. I'll tell you this right now. The worst player in the NBA, the worst coach in the NBA, the worst everything in the NBA will destroy anyone in your neighborhood who thinks that they could do it. Destroy them. Destroy them. All right. I've been at 24-Hour Fitness in Northridge when Nick Young, Gilbert Arenas, and Jordan Farmar pulled up years after they played. Years. Looking like they ain't touched the ball and God knows however. Looking like they've partaken in some activities prior to entering the gym and just light college athletes up. Light them up. Couldn't stop them. Like I've seen guys who retired 10 years ago, had basically been out there playing on one leg. Other, not these three I mentioned, but other players come in and just cook and kill. These guys are different, man. These guys are different. Both mentally and physically. Different. I agree. I'd rather have DeRozan over Zach. I'd rather have DeRozan over Zach, but I don't think they're getting either one of them. Ham turned down Son's assistant job under Coach Bud, who he think he is, waiting for Doc to get clipped. No pun. No pun. Ham will be a head coach before Giannis wants out. Well, we do know that the Warriors have been linked to him, and he's been talking about that. I told y'all that when Bud got that spot, that potentially Ham would be there. I think Ham, there's a chance he can end up back in Milwaukee. I think there's a chance he can end up with the Warriors. Plus, he has ties to OKC and Memphis as well. So don't put it outside the realm of possibility, because they always do this. The Clippers like to take the guy that the Lakers blame, bring them into their culture, and show that it wasn't their fault. They've lost assistants. I'm just telling you. It could happen. Patrick says, Jeff, I hear Gladys is a free agent. Won't mind the shame. Just sign him so we can get closer to signing Giannis. I think that's going to make a difference there. Jeremy, what's going on, man? Hey, how you doing? I hope you're having a good night. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. Shan says, move Vando for Caruso and center the trade around Rui and the picks for Laurie. I don't think Chicago would do that, to be honest with you. Chicago is going to want picks. They're going to want something for the future. I think that they can get a first round pick for Caruso elsewhere. So I don't think that they would do that. Matt Barnes, probably one of my favorite role players and personalities. Too entertaining as Barnes is wild, especially out in these LA streets. He wild, bro. Patrick says, Jeff, a woman had already played in the NBA. Her name was Dwight. Wow. Scandalous stuff. The NBA is back. Yeah, I think she'll be all right. Like I said, I'm about chipping on it, man. Jeff, you think you a better basketball coach or baseball coach? Basketball. Better basketball coach. Because I couldn't get out there and I had really, really, really good baseball and softball assistants. I couldn't get out there and do the things of like training and teaching in baseball like I could in basketball. I wasn't able to do it. My strategy, my mind for the game, my preparation, scouting the other teams, lineups, all these things, I was a beast, absolute beast. But getting out there, hitting the ground balls, the pop, the fly, and all these different things, I wasn't as great as that, as maybe going on the basketball court and actually playing with the team, running plays with the team, all that stuff. I wasn't as good at that on the diamond as I would at basketball. But I loved both. So I would say in game, I was equal. Preparation, practice, training, I was better in basketball. But in game, bro, there was a lot of people. If I'm coaching almost any sport that I know the insides and out of, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna give people problems. Right? My strategy is crazy. And my teams always talk a lot of trash. Tina says, Clark is bringing eyes to the league. The WNBA has lost money every season so far. They all need to capitalize on it for now. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It is going to blow over. It's just going to take some time. Laurie, like a cracked up Powell. Powell, bad. Powell was nasty. I know if people didn't see Powell before he was a Laker, that dude was nasty. He was so good. So good when he came to the Lakers too. But Laurie's nice. But Laurie had a lot of down years. He was able to bust for a while and then finally took off. Powell was good out the gate. Jeff, you watch the EuroLeague or maybe just take notes? I have not watched the EuroLeague. Clarkson isn't the defender he used to be. Facts. Darren says, Tiger. Not sure what. Yeah, they're definitely rumored. Love the show says, I still think the Lakers should go after Wiseman. Detroit is set to pick up the other center and can get him without using draft picks. He has a qualifying offer. So if they make him a qualifying offer, then he's a restricted free agent. So it's not just that simple. We'd have to wait and see what happens with him. He said, Ozzy Jeff. If you told me 10 years ago JJ Reddick is going to be coaching LeBron and the Lakers, I would have think you were on crack. Yeah, it's crazy, right? If a woman win, you need depth, but more so a killer 8-9. Oh, sorry, woman. What I say, woman? We were talking about NBA. If you want to win, you need depth, but more so a killer 8-9 man rotation. Yeah, and I think you need depth, but you need a good third person. That depth is weak if your third guy isn't strong. So you could have a good 6, 7, 8, 9 man rotation, but if the 3 through 9 is of similar talent level on the lower end, then the depth isn't as strong as it could be as if your third guy was better than your 4th, 5th, or 6th guy. You get what I mean? So that's what's important. They definitely need a third killer. They definitely need that. And until they get it, it's the depth is not going to be what it could be without that third killer. Yeah, Powell was different. Oh yeah, yes. Powell was nuts, yo. Powell was nuts. But on that note, guys, I'm going to shut it down for the night. I just looked at this. It's 11-11, so make that wish. Wish everything goes great for the Lakers in the offseason, right? I'm going to shut it down for the night. I will catch you guys back here tomorrow. Tremendous turnout tonight. I greatly appreciate you guys. Sorry I've been gone since Friday, but I definitely appreciate you guys being here. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. You know I appreciate that, so thank y'all so much. Just do me a favor and drop a like on the video on your way out if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And if you're catching the replay, let me know what you think about in the comment section. Your time is appreciated as well. Curious to see where everyone's at with this. But I just thank you guys for spending time. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, and I will catch you guys up in here tomorrow night. Appreciate you, JSG, and the moderators tonight. And like I said, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Appreciate y'all as always, man. Peace.